2 or 3 weeks ago, you might have seen my test on the volume level comparison between my SMH10 and my 20S when used with the GP10 from SENA. And finally, after putting in a warranty claim, the whole point of that was to help out Renegade Biker 24. Turns out he had a bad SMH10 unit. It was giving him all kinds of weird static. He got his replacement a couple days ago, and it is good, so I'm glad that worked out for him. And finally, mine arrived. Took long enough, but now we have a brand new out-of-the-box SMH10 to test. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I know that replacing the base units does not matter. I've been through, this is my 4th swap out test unit with them for different kinds of problems. Problems are always in their main unit here. So I'm going to go ahead and update this, because they always come behind the times with firmware. Make sure all the settings are correct, and then I'm going to go ahead and do another volume test and see if the levels are any better. Now, if you remember last time, looking at the waveform without any editing, the volume level of this was about 20% what it should be. It was barely registering on the meter. So we'll see if this picks it up and if they fixed the problem with this. I know it's not a new firmware, so they didn't do a fix like they did with the 20S. That's what fixed the problem in that. So hopefully, you know, it was just bad unit number 4, and this is going to fix it. Let's find out. And as expected, chip's outdated. Very important whenever you get anything electronic. That's not a knock on SENA. I mean, when you produce electronic components, you can't keep things on the shelf updated. You're not going to open the box and update stuff. I mean, I got a bunch of new flashes in, and I got a bunch of, got a new controller in. Hold the phone button. Okay, that's the little one. You know, you have to update your firmware or make sure that you're on the latest version whenever you buy something electronic, if it is updatable. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and run through all the settings, make sure everything is set correctly, and do the test. Well, slight change. I just read the RMA from SENA on getting the old unit back. And this is kind of weird. For the first 3 bad units that I sent back, they only wanted the controller, the main unit. They didn't care about the rest. But they specifically said they want all of it back this time. So maybe it's a policy change, or maybe something is dorked up in some of their base units. But anyway, I've got it removed from the wife's helmet here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in all the new ones, so it's 100% swap out, so absolutely no chance of anything old carrying over. Maybe that's just what they're after. They just want to make sure that from now on they don't miss any problems and it's not wasted time and money. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. This is one of my new flashes, by the way. Love it. If you're a Canon fan, you know how good the 600 series is. Absolutely fantastic. All right, let's test. Okay, we're all paired up. This is the only connection I have. I've got the GP10 on the GoPro, and I've got the new SMH10 paired to it. Now, what I'm going to do is just simply do another test again, and I'm going to talk into this, and we'll see how it sounds. Now, one important thing dealing with the microphone setup, I've taken the foam off. It comes with this little foam on the boom mic, so you can see exactly what you need to do. They don't make it very easy without reading the directions to know how to use this mic, and it can be confusing if you accidentally twist this while you're out on the road and you forget which way it's supposed to go. The microphone has holes on both sides, so that's not real obvious. And it also has markings on both sides. It has a little indented triangle, and it has a fin. All right? The fin faces away from your mouth. The triangle faces your mouth. So the 3 slots, that's the side that faces your mouth. Of course, you can't see this when you have the foam on. That's why it doesn't do you any good. So what you have to do is feel for this nub. Feel for the little fin. Just remember, fin goes away from you. And if you're getting a whole bunch of wind noise from the holes on this side, there is a little plastic piece that clips over this to block these holes if that foam doesn't do a good enough job. And of course, that does block some ambient noise too. So if you're trying to pick up more of your bike noise, you want to keep this off and just play with the placement of this in your helmet to get rid of the wind noise. But for this purpose, for this test, I'm going to test both sides of it, and we'll see if there's any difference. because during my first test, when the levels were equally low, both sides were identical. I got the same sound and the same performance out of both sides. But hopefully this one is working, and maybe we'll see a difference talking to one side or the other. Let's give it a shot right now. This is a test talking into the correct side of the mic. I have it about 1.5 inches in front of my mouth. We'll see if the levels are any better. They should be about 80% of peak for proper audio and to match the 20S output. This is talking into the incorrect side of the mic. I want to see if the audio quality is any different, or specifically any lower or degraded. The other test didn't show any difference. Well, not unexpected, but unfortunate news. There you see the waveform from the test I just shot. And it's exactly the same as the other unit, which I expected. Those waveforms are maximum 20-25% of peak. There is a difference, as you heard, between the right and the wrong side of the mic, so that's good to confirm at least. However, this is just for motovlogging compared to the 20S, where the 20S levels are up here where they should be. This is 1/3 to 1/4, or 1/4 to 1/3 of the volume that it should be. So what this forces you to do is normalize or really increase your gain. I'm going to increase this 15 decibels, which is a lot. And I mean, that's how it should be. But unfortunately now it brings up the noise level. Hear that static? This is a test talking into the correct side of the mic. I have it about. That's why boosting gain sucks. That's why this doesn't function properly. So, I mean, that confirms my thought that the SMH10 is just incompatible. The current firmware on it, at least, is incompatible with the GP10 unit. You need a 20S or later generation product to properly motovlog with the GP10. You know, this audio level is just unacceptable for any kind of good results. If you leave it like this, people have to jack up their volume, and again, that jacks up the noise on their end, you know, cranking up their headphones or whatever. You can see the levels here of my intro. This is normal. This is what the the 20S looks like, and that's what this should look like. This is completely normal. This is far below. And this is obviously the new unit, so that's 2 in a row, identical. I don't think there's a problem with either one of those units. I think I just took that out of the helmet for absolutely nothing, because there's nothing wrong with either one. They just can't work the way they should, because they don't yet have the proper firmware. So, SENA, if you're watching this, and one of you will be at least, because I'm going to put this video into the RMA, you guys still have some work to do. You guys clearly are sending out products that don't do what they're supposed to do. Your GP10 does not work with the SMH10. That's all there is to it. So thanks for watching, guys. Bad conclusion here, but hey, truth hurts. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.